Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been, I don't know, a couple months now since I last uploaded a video, and I'm so sorry for that. I don't even remember what I was talking about in my last video. I probably should have watched that before I recorded this, but I had some free time. Um, at the moment I am recording this, it is March 18th. 2020, and just to give you a little bit of an update, there is, a pandemic going around right now, and unfortunately, the place where I work is under a shelter-in-place order, so it was a county order, I believe, and so that means we are working from home, for me, just for this week, unfortunately. And then this shelter in place, I believe, is lasting 3 weeks, so until April 7th. So I did have some time open up, and I promise you I am still doing my work. I'm checking emails periodically, but unfortunately, ever since the coronavirus started, going around, it's been a little slow for the industry that I work at. And for any of you that are curious, I work in the hospitality and event industry. And as you can imagine, when it first started, getting a little more serious in the area that I live in, there were a lot of cancellations and postponements, and it was just a lot of damage control on our part. And I really was hopeful that it wouldn't get to this point. Um, but obviously, it is what it is, unfortunately. And I'm just glad that we are taking precautions to, stop the spread and keep everyone, as safe and as healthy as possible. It's not an ideal situation, but it's what we've got. And thankfully, people have been, or like, people have been very flexible, and we're all trying to make things easier for everybody because, we're all in this in this boat together, unfortunately. So, to anybody that's watching, I hope you're all keeping safe. I hope you're all practicing, proper hygiene, like washing your hands every so often. I personally am always washing my hands. My husband thinks it's a little over the top because I wash my hands so much that sometimes it dries out, especially in the colder months. But I've just always been that way, so it's not a problem for me, um, thankfully. And what else they say, sanitize very high touch points. So at my workplace, before, all of this happened, before the shelter in place, we were wiping down doorknobs, light switches, um, desks, the computers, just anything that our guests and our team used or touched frequently I don't know, like every 2 hours. Um, so, I mean, we're all doing our best, and I think this is something we should keep up for, for as long as we need to, and it's really something we should have been doing anyway. Um, anyway, I'm sorry, I started rambling. I really need to start talking about this build. But this was a container-inspired home. Unfortunately, at the time of me building this, I didn't have Strangerville, and I know Strangerville has that wallpaper where it kind of looks like, the steel crates or the actual containers. So I just kind of made do with what I thought looked nice, and obviously I changed some parts of it so it wasn't just completely steel, which, whatever. It's, again, a container inspired home. I had a lot of fun doing this. I think this may have been one of the first builds I did that was pretty narrow. Um, and I've been trying to do more builds that were that are narrow, but I don't know. I always just have such a difficult time, and it always ends up looking more like this. But again, this was a long time ago, so I don't even remember which packs I had at that point. And if you're curious, I don't have all the packs, unfortunately. Um, and it's funny because I find that I always tend to use the same stuff because I have a very um, certain like style, I guess, and I just gravitate towards um, something, and I'm trying to work on that and being more what's the word I'm looking for? More flexible, I guess, and just more open to other ones, but I don't know. I don't know. Creature of habit, I guess. And like this bed, I love this bed, and I use either this one, the white one, every now and then I'll use the other colors, but I always default to the same one, and I'm like, I really need to stop and use different ones. But as you can see, I do have a lot of trouble with the bedroom, but I don't even remember. Do I? Yes, so I did end up using a single bed, which makes sense. I think I was trying to fit in too much stuff in here that it wasn't making a lot of sense. I don't remember if I play tested this build. I want to say I probably did, and everything works. But I mean, if it should be up in the gallery, and it's been up in the gallery for a long while now, I think. Um, so if you need to make your adjustments, not a big deal. You have like the base building. So yeah. Anyway, a little more updates, I guess, because again, it has been a while since I last uploaded a video. I know that I was trying to be really good about keeping up with this and posting videos. I don't know what I was trying to do, like every 2 weeks, every week. I think every week was a little much. Like, I know myself better than that, but um, I want to say I have a lot of builds right now, not actual like big builds like this with a home and everything, but a lot of like renovation or redecorating, whatever, like apartments, just because it was like the easiest for me, I guess, and I was just going through this weird um, phase of wanting to just renovate and renovate and renovate. So those videos are probably what's going to come up next. I'll try to put a bit more variety. At this point, I don't know how often I'll be able to upload still. I've been very addicted to Final Fantasy XIV, and recently I started playing Resident Evil 2 as well, so the remake. I did try streaming it, but unfortunately I could not figure out why my stream was so laggy whenever I played RE2. Hopefully I can figure that out, and so I can replay it and obviously post more content on my YouTube channel and do other things on my Twitch too. But are we nearing the end of this video? I don't even. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. I don't even remember how long this video is, but again, it is what it is. And I'm just rambling. What I do want to try, because I have been watching other YouTubers too, like, simmers. Sim, yeah, I don't even remember. Here I go again, getting tongue-tied because I'm trying to talk too fast. But I have seen other, YouTubers upload their builds with not really, like, no background music, and it's mostly just them talking. So I'm going to try it with this one, just because I feel like the music, sometimes I can't find the right balance, I guess, and then the music ends up louder than my voice. Obviously, I try to go through everything and make sure it's all good, like in terms of balance, that my voice is louder than the background music. But also, I just find that it's a little distracting on my end. Like, I tend to focus on the music, so I think with this one, there won't be background music, so you are getting just my voice, unfortunately. Which, so let me know what you think, if you'd prefer that the rest of my speed builds are just literally me talking, no background music. Um, I try my best because unfortunately I don't have that big of a, you know, base, like fan base yet, I guess. I don't know what, I don't know what to call it. But the few comments that I do get, I try to respond as quickly as possible. But yeah, I'd appreciate your feedback if you'd prefer this, or if I should go back to like how my old videos were with my voice in the background music. I'll try to talk as much as possible, even though I get tongue-tied and start babbling. But little fun fact, English is not quite my first language, I guess. So I am Filipino. I can speak fluent Tagalog. And growing up, I spoke a lot of both, so English and Tagalog, or Taglish, as you can say. And so sometimes I tend to revert to speaking Taglish or just Tagalog. I try to keep up with it, so the only people that I really talk to that can speak Tagalog are the few relatives I have here within the area, and obviously if I get to call my parents, I try not to lose it because unfortunately my husband does not speak Tagalog, and so I can't practice. And sometimes I do find myself forgetting a few words and like, what's that word again? And like, just pausing for a pretty long time. And sometimes it happens to me too when I speak in English because again, I want to revert, like my body or my mind just wants to revert back to speaking Taglish. So I apologize in advance if sometimes I cut myself off or I stop talking or there are lulls in my like conversation. And the reason for that being is sometimes in my head I'm just cycling, through the words like what is that word again in English or Tagalog? Like why did I suddenly, you know, whatever, I'm just making excuses now and I'm rambling. Um, I want to say we're almost done if I'm removing the lights, just adding a bit more clutter. I do have another build lined up after this already, and it is another like full home. So what I might try to do is I have a ton of recordings of like my other builds, so I might record one of those so I can start editing, and then usually it's the voice over that I do last, which I think is the normal way to go about things. Um, but yeah, so I have a lot of recordings just taking up space in my computer, and hopefully with working from home or just being at home for the next 3 weeks, I'll get a couple of things done, and I really want to get back to this and make it a regular thing because it's something that I enjoy and something that um, calms me down and doesn't make me super anxious, I guess. I mean, if anything, the only thing that makes me anxious is talking this much, but it's just a nice break from everything, and I'm trying to be better about taking care of myself and I guess the mental health thing. Like I feel like we're all always just go 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 and so busy with like work that we forget to take care of ourselves. And it's so funny, my friend, one of my really good friends, always tells me you need to stop, you know slow down, do something that you love, something that makes you happy, because eventually you're gonna get tired of it, you're gonna burn yourself out. And she says like, I don't want that for you. So thank you, my dear, if ever you watch these videos. Thank you for that advice. I am doing my best and trying to, keep up with it and do things that I love and things that make me happy. Um, so I guess one of the nice things about this shelter in place is that we have more time to do things that, we didn't have time for before. Um, and this is, the best time to pick up something new, like read a new book, do things that you've always wanted to do, but again, didn't have the time to do. And hopefully this teaches us to make time for things that matter, like spending time with family, with your dog. I know Mochi's super excited that I'm just staying at home. And, again, just being able to do things that you love. And I'm sorry, I'm just trying to keep up, make conversation. But again, this is the best time to pick up something new. I'm hoping to keep up again with this. So let's see if I can keep that promise. I don't want to say it's a promise, but again, I'll do my best to keep up with this because this is something that I like. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I stress myself out with work so much that everything else just kind of, you know, but I'll try to keep up on top of these videos that I want to do. I do want to clean up around the house a little bit more, like mop, maybe organize my pantry, do the laundry because I always have piles and piles of laundry to do, and I just kind of select, a few that I can do to like cycle through. And I feel like I'm always wearing the same thing to work, but I think I can finally just completely empty our laundry basket for the next 3 weeks. But anyway, I really need to do more builds where I landscape a little bit more. Not that I'm great at landscaping, but it would be a good practice. And just so you know, I am absolutely obsessed with succulents. And if you haven't seen, no, I haven't. I don't think I've posted anything about like our succulents in my like my gaming Instagram. But if you've been following me for a long time now, you probably have access to my personal one. I did post a few pictures of the plants that we have at home, and I am obsessed with like all of our succulents. My husband does not like them as much, but he has kept them, where they are because I love them. He's not a big fan because he thinks they just grow wild. And I'm like, well, that's what plants are. They grow wild. Um, but we have like the cabbage ones, and I swear to you, when we first moved into this house, they weren't as many as they are now. There's so much that they're all kind of squished together, and I feel kind of bad for them. So I'm hoping when one of these days, like again for the shelter in place, if it's not a rainy day, I'll probably go out there and not replant them, but I'll probably give some succulents away to people that want them. Oh, we've reached the end. So, but anyway, I do want to give some succulents away. So, I'll probably show pictures eventually and keep you guys updated on my personal life too a little bit. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I apologize for rambling. At this time, again, please just stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, wipe down surfaces that are high touch points every so often, and just limit yourself to staying at home as much as possible and limit going outside to, just the absolute necessity or until absolutely necessary. All right, I will see you guys next time. Bye.